Hey everybody, this is this, and man, do we have a lot to talk about. And I'm just going to make this just me talking video. I'm going to talk about, well, basically a whole lot of things. One of which is Nintendo. First of all, let's get something clear, everybody. Last year, now all the actions that Nintendo's doing now has nothing to do with facts of last year, meaning that when Nintendo fucks up nowadays, doesn't mean that what they did last year is a complete and utter disaster. Like, say, I don't know, a man robs a bank, and then the next year he robs another bank but gets caught. Doesn't mean that when he gets caught that he fucked up the bank from last year. It's not how basic human logic works, but this is the way the fanboy logic works, and it doesn't make a lick of sense. And the one thing that Nintendo constantly did that most of the other companies couldn't do last year was release games that were actually working. And of course, people look at the contract between Sega and Nintendo, and of course, Sonic Boom. That was mostly Sega. Sega's the one who developed the game. It doesn't matter if Sega's put under a fucking contract. They're the ones who stamped their names all over the fucking thing and pushed for it. Of course, Sega has been dropping in quality for years and really has been irrelevant for years. No, oh, wait. I mean, yes, Nintendo sales are down because you people are idiots and you bought broken games, mainly Drive Club. Hell, even Dragon Age Inquisition was broken. But, Drive Club, Assassin's Creed Unity, and of course the Master Chief Collection, which, by the way, the Master Chief Collection is still broken. There's still complaints about the Master Chief Collection. Hell, even the re-release game, what was it, Saints Row 4 re-election slash Scat Goes to Hell is busted beyond belief because of the simple fact that it's deleting people's wardrobes, all except for the DLC. But the wardrobes are being deleted for no fucking apparent reason. Every time you turn off the game and then turn it back on, your wardrobe is gone. But they'll fix it eventually. But they now know that it's a pretty severe bug and they really need to fix it. Now, Dragon Age, even though buggy wasn't as bad because you could still play the fucking game, which is important because, playing the game is gameplay. And even though that some people are saying that graphics matter more than gameplay, basically you're saying that graphics is more important than the actual functions of, say, your keyboard or your controller. Basically, when you press up to have your character go up, you know, that's what gameplay basic or the gameplay mechanics are. It's basically from your fingers on the controller being transmitted to the fucking game itself. But you're going to say graphics is more important, so when you press up on your controller to make your character go up, and instead will go sideways and then commit other suicide, yeah, you're a fucking moron. Or just clearly not thinking ahead before you say stupid shit. I mean, we all remember that Skyward Sword was a better game than Skyrim, or, the Legend of Zelda game, and everybody went for Skyrim. Funny thing, there's still people complaining about Skyrim on the PlayStation 3, mainly due to the fact that the PlayStation 3's cell architecture it's still incredibly hard to program for, because we all know the cell processor works on a slave master kind of slave sort of programming, when all the others are, here's all these cores, use them all. But instead, the cell processor uses the slave master cores, which is just ugh. But yeah, Every time somebody tells me, "Oh, but Skyrim's fixed. They fixed all those problems." No, they didn't. They haven't really fixed it at all. In fact, in most cases, people have said that Bethesda has abandoned the PlayStation 3 version. Or shall we forget that wonderful game, Batman Arkham Origins? There's a fucked up game where you have a game breaking bug and the game. But hey, it's got great graphics. It looks really great because, graphics are more important than gameplay. Even though there's a game breaking bug which inhibits your gameplay mechanics of your character to progress in the game, which is the very definition of gameplay mechanics, from, going further into a video game, or do anything because they can't go because Batman's supposed to climb this ledge. He won't climb it, or I think he's supposed to go into like a vent, climb into a vent and do that whole vent thing, but he won't jump into the vent, and thus the game is broken. So what did Warner Brothers say they would do? Fuck you. We're not going to fix it. We're going to concentrate on DLC. They still haven't fixed that game. And of course, I'm not going to name names, but certain people out there are telling me, but graphics are more important than gameplay because those graphics show Batman just climbing into those ledges. Which, by the way, climbing those ledges and all that shit is gameplay mechanic. But here's the thing: Nintendo released games that actually function and actually worked. Even though Dragon Age Inquisition was broken, they eventually fixed it. Of course, then they immediately turned around, backstabbed everybody. Yep, I have to pay for gas now, or wait. And the fact that it's on a mobile phone doesn't make it a forgettable game because any game, no matter what device it's put under, is a game. That there's no. Was there some sort of reality changing law that came out there that says only games that were put on certain consoles were considered actual games, while things that were put on other certain consoles were considered to be forgettable or meh? And of course, everybody's all bitching that, oh, Nintendo can't sell Bayonetta, even though, let's forget simple facts that Platinum Games couldn't sell a fucking game to save their own company. I mean, I knew it was a mistake for Nintendo to make a deal to have the Bayonetta 2. I mean, I thought it was funny as hell when it happened, but I knew that game was never going to sell. There was no way in hell that was going to happen. I mean, we're talking about Platinum Games here. None of their games have sold well at all. They have a hard time selling all their titles. I mean, Mad World flopped, Bayonetta flopped, hell, even Anarchy Reign flopped. Nobody cared. And then they go up and say, but it has the man who created Beautiful Joe, which, by the way, flopped, and Beautiful Joe 2, which also didn't do so well. Actually did a little better than the first game, but details. There's no way this company could ever flop with him on charge. What? No, it's got to be Nintendo because Nintendo has that word. It's Nintendo. That proves that I'm right because it says Nintendo, and that has that guy that has that created Beautiful Joe. There's no way I could be wrong. You're a dumb fucking idiot. The No matter who's in charge of what games they're designing, doesn't actually mean that that company is going to boost off into greatness just because of one person, and then immediately just blame a company because, well, A, you don't like the company, and B, the company is failing, mainly because everybody else is all morons. Because, last year they bought the Assassin's Creed Unity, which means we're going to get more busted ass games from fucking Ubisoft, and Drive Club, and well, actually nobody really bought Drive Club, and of course you got the Halo Master Chief Collection, fucking bronies out there are just like, yeah, man, Halo games, multiplayer, Halo games, multiplayer. What do you mean this game's broken? It's a Halo game, isn't it? I play Halo. Halo! That game is still fucking broken. And of course, there's still tons of people who are. I mean, there was a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, who bought the Xbox One version of Destiny, and they call it Halo Destiny. Why? Because they don't want to admit that Bungie left Microsoft. And they pretend, and I kid you not, pretend that that PlayStation 4 version with all of its exclusive items does not exist till this fucking day. They still don't admit to that. They just basically said, nope, Bungie's still with Microsoft. There's no Activision. It was Microsoft and Bungie, and they created this new Halo game called Destiny. I kid you not, there's still people in complete fucking denial over this. They are in complete and absolute denial. I'm still shocked that one person who got like a Destiny box, didn't throw it at the wall screaming, "Where's the fucking Microsoft? Why does it say Halo? And what does this mean for PlayStation 4 as well?" Because none of you wants to leave this past. You mean you complain about the Nintendo people not wanting to leave the past alone, but then here you are showing your love for a busted ass broken game and won't admit that Halo Master Chief Collection is broken, or you'll admit that Destiny is not part of the Halo franchise. I mean, yes, it's got some of the same gameplay mechanics, but so did Marathon games. But hell, you Halo fans won't even admit that the fucking Marathon games that existed on Apple before Bungie was bought out by Microsoft and all that shit. But you won't even admit that game exists, even though there's this free little uplink called Alpha One, which allows you to play all those old marathon games. But it's right there, and you deserve. And what you do, you button up and just pretend it doesn't exist. You just close your eyes and grind your teeth and just pray to the, oh, this is not happening, or that does not exist. I do not see it. That does not exist. I mean, denial, anyone? I mean, you morons are literally trying to erase video game history. Just outright erase it. And the sad truth is that it's actually working through your wondrous actions of mob rules and a grand of this grand design of just absolute denial. Bungie left Microsoft and then created a subpar game called Destiny. Deal with it. And they didn't make it with Microsoft, they made it with Activision. And it's not on just Xbox One, it's also on PlayStation 4 as well as 3. Deal with it. And Halo Master Chief Collection is a broken mess. I mean, I still have people out there telling me that, oh, none of the creators of Halo ever left. Yeah, they did left. In fact, one of the major creators of Halo left after the first fucking game. And he's now working for Disney Interactive. And if you want to stay in denial, understand that there's a video out there of Halo being shown off at Macworld because it was going to be an RPG, a top-down RPG strategy game for Apple. But for all the denial that you're giving me, shut the fuck up. Now, as for the whole Nintendo's YouTube partnership program, I think I'm going to have to come up with another video because I'm running down on this one. But I'm going to say one thing and one thing only. Nintendo's right, but so are the users. Because the partnership program, it's legal. It's very legal. It's just that Nintendo decided to bite off a little bit more than they could chew. And the YouTube users, I know Nintendo's gonna wipe this out. I mean, Sega ran the same program and look where they are at now. But it's a fucking mess on both sides. Both the YouTubers and as well as Nintendo. I don't like what Nintendo did, but I don't like half of the shit that's being spouted out by the YouTubers as well over this shit. Especially when they don't understand the basics of copyright law. I'll explain later. See ya.